right, welcome back for another episode of the Wednesday Watch List. This is my weekly look ahead to all the new comics coming out this Wednesday, February 18th, 2026. I'll give you a rundown on all the books I'm looking forward to on my pull list and some variants and things that you need to be aware of before you go to your shop to pick up your new releases for this week. Hopefully, you're enjoying this series as well as everything else here on the channel. Please let me know what you think in the comments down below. Make sure that you like, you subscribe, you hit the alert button so you don't miss anything. Keep telling your friends so we can keep growing this little channel. And if you want to see this week's rundown, just hang on for a few seconds after the intro, and I will be right back. All right, before we actually get started this week, I want to remind all of you to mark your calendars for this Friday, not only for the CBSI Hot 10 list, which comes out every Friday night, but also for the Qualified this week, as the boys are going live with special guest Garrett Gunn, and they're going to go run down, have a fun little interview, and go through their normal fun segments. So make sure you come back, support the boys this Friday, mark your calendars, as Garrett Gunn should be stopping by and hanging out with the boys on the Qualified. Now, with that said, for now, let's take a look at the top of my stack for this week. This is the top of the pile, first books out of my pull list, things I can't wait to read that are going to get, gobbled up first once I pick up my books this week. And we are going to start with, well, probably one of the more popular books out there right now for everyone, not just me, but Absolute Batman has a new issue coming with number 17. Yes, it's on my pull list. That's what that little gold coin shows. So as we go through it, if you see that little coin, that's what's on my personal pull as we run through the show and all the books coming out this week. But Absolute Poison Ivy coming our way in this 17th issue. So let's see how this all plays out. I'm looking forward to it. Multiple covers here. I believe I pre-ordered a cover A as well as one of the others. Not the Clayton Crane, which, it's all right. I don't mind it. I believe I also ordered the Dan Panosian because I'm a big Dan Panosian fan. So I think on a blind, I ordered it anyway. And while I do like it, I don't love this one. It's all right. But I am a Dan Panosian fan, so I definitely got a hold of this one too in my DCBS pull list. And then after that, we have a fourth option here as well. If you want to go this way, a little more abstract, if you will. And 1 in 25 option too, if you want to go the incentive route, which I actually really like this Carl Keschel. It has sort of an animated kind of vibe. And I know there's been a lot of talk and dialogue going on the last, few weeks, months even, about adapting Absolute Batman and some arguments over should it be live action or animated. I'm more in the animated camp, as I think if we did something in more of a Japanese anime style, sort of extreme, exaggerated bit, considering how exaggerated some of these characters are, I think it would play very well and better than live action, personally. But we'll see if we ever get anything of that nature. I mean, it's only 17 issues old. Let's not forget that. This is not even 2 full years old, this series, so let's not get way too far ahead of ourselves with any adaptations. But yeah, there it is. But like I said, I do really like this Carl Keschel. It has that kind of tone and vibe that I could see with a very clear animated sort of style. Anyway, the other book right here at the top of my list, again, it's a personal preference, personal favorite of mine, and that is Mega Man. So Mega Man X #1 is definitely something I'm going to be grabbing this week because I'm a big Mega Man fan. But here's the cover A. There's also a few cover options here, including this connecting cover, which you can see here connects with issue 0, which came out about a month ago. So there you go. This will build out as the series continues, but you got 0 and #1. We have a third option as well as a blank. If you want to go with the blank, there's a blank option. And then there also is a 1 in 5 incentive, which is just awesome. Just the whole design of it. It looks like a Super Nintendo, an SNES box. Which brings back a lot of nostalgia for me, and especially the Mega Man X game. I mean, it fits. It looks just like it. And here's a clearer look of it. So turn it on its side so you get a better look at that box. It's just cool. I dig it. I'm definitely getting one of these. They're doing this, I believe, on at least issue 2 as well. I don't know how much further into the run they're going to go with this box theme variants, but I imagine these will be pretty popular and probably start selling already at a premium. I mean, it's a 1 in 5, so this thing's selling for like 10 to 15 bucks out of the gate. It wouldn't surprise me. But with that said, I'm going to roll on from here into my blind picks for the week. And yes, we are going to use yes this week because I do have more than one blind pick in the category for this particular week. So if you want to see what they are, well, let's just take a look right now with the first one rolling in here from from Dynamite of all places. And yeah, this also kind of leans in on the personal preference sort of angle for me. I don't know how this is going to turn out. I just know for me, I grew up a big Muppet fan. The Muppet Show was one of my favorites as a kid. I love noir, the Raymond Chandler, Philip Marlowe type stuff. Like I'm into that. Sam Spade, love that stuff. So mixing noir with the Muppets, it's goofy, it'll be silly, but I'm on board. So I can't wait to check this out. I'm like already praying that they'll make a Muppet Noir movie. I mean, it doesn't have to be like adult and too. Remember that Muppet movie they made? It was a little too over the top. Something more tame, but still keeping the keeping the the vibe of a noir movie would be cool by me. Anyway, issue 1 coming our way. Not a lot of covers. We have just basically 2 pieces of art to kind of cover, with the cover A first, and then there is a B cover option here as well. And then we have variations on these, with black and whites being the incentives of the 1 in 10 and the 1 in 15. And then we will also add the color back, but take the trade dress away to pop them up a notch to 1 in 20s and the 1 in 25. So again, just 2 pieces of different cover art, but multiple variations get us through all these incentives. And that's Muppet Noir, which, like I said, I think is going to be a lot of fun. The other book that I'm grabbing this week that I'm looking forward to is this White Sky series that's starting up. If you read the kind of scenario here, it's a sort of an end of the world, but with ghosts. Many people kind of connecting it or attributing it to being sort of a Last of Us, but with ghosts instead of like zombies or something of that nature, which could be interesting. It could be a different take. It could be a different vibe. So I'm interested to see what we're going to go with this. So this White Sky, I'm going to check this out. At the very least, issue 1, I think I already ordered issue 2 as well to kind of get myself set to kind of check this series out. But issue 1 coming out this week. Looking forward to that. Cover A here. There is a B option as well as a 1 in 25 incentive if you decide to go the incentive route, or a blank. There's a blank out there too. But there you go with your White Sky options. Now, before we get into the guts of the show, going through all the different publishers, let's just quickly remind all of you, if you need your supplies, you can go over to BCW, use the links down below, click on it, use my code RENA10 for 10% off your entire order. That's 10% off your bags, your boards, your long boxes and short boxes, your CGC boxes, your top loaders for cards, basically anything you need to keep your comics or collectibles safe. You got to buy supplies. You can do so over at BCW, and you can save 10% by using my code RENA10. You help out the channel, you get yourself a discount. You really got nothing to lose by doing so. So with that all out of the way, let's get right into it, publisher by publisher. I gave you the top of my pile type stuff, but here is the rest of the bunch, starting off with DC Comics. And over at DC Comics, there is still a few things coming out this week that we can talk about. So with that all said, let's start off first with World's Finest, issue 48. A new story arc is beginning here with the Crime Syndicate rolling in. So they seem to have finally wrapped up that Luther Joker stuff, and now we're rolling in with the Crime Syndicate, which it's kind of weird. It seems oddly timely for me because my son and I just started. Again, it's years old, the game. That DC Lego Villains game that had the Crime Syndicate in it. We've just been playing it the last week together, and just seems weird that this title's now coming out. Again, that game's old. That game's not new. It's just weird timing. And I'm not reading World's Finest, so I didn't even know this was coming as far as a story arc either. But I don't know. Might have to dip back in one of these days. I always do enjoy those Crime Syndicate stories with Owlman and Ultraman, etc. They usually have a fun take. But issue 48, cover A, there is also a Mark Spears Joker cover that has that trading card sort of trade dress that we've seen. Granted, it's been months. But here it goes. We finally get the next one in that sort of variant series coming. And then a couple of other options as well if you want to grab your World's Finest with, the 2 Crime Syndicate guys kind of sandwiching in the 2 parts of the Trinity. And yes, this is a Trinity cover, but not the Trinity because you got Robin instead of Wonder Woman. But here's a 4th option for your World's Finest book if you want to go that way. All right, from here, there are a couple of books I am picking up over in the back corner of the universe, like Catwoman. I thought about putting a new story arc here, but it really doesn't start the new story arc until the next issue. This is sort of an in-between transition as they wrapped up the Venice stuff, and now Catwoman is coming home, so she's homeward bound. Love these covers by Sebastian Fiamora. So that's probably going to be the one I get, which is the cover A. But meanwhile, there are a lot of good options here. Still more goodness from Frank Cho here. This definitely has an old school 80s sort of vibe with the color palette. It definitely screams 80s to me at the very least, but I like it. The C option also not bad. And then there's a Scott Forbes here that is also quite good. So all good, solid options here across the board on our Catwoman. And like I said, back in the day, I used to have these in the Cheesecake area, but no, this is a good comic. This is a decent read too. So I pulled it out of the Cheesecake and put it here in the DC proper section of the show. So with that, we'll move on to Nightwing. Also, been back on board for Nightwing as of late. So issue 135 is on my pull list. I'm probably just getting the Dexter Soy cover here, cover A, saving that $1, despite the fact that I do like this Warren Johnson. I do like it, especially with the trade dress worked into the image. It just confuses me as to why, even with Nightwing worked into the image, they still felt. Oh, why did it go back? Didn't mean to do that. My bad. Why they still felt the need to put the trade dress on there again? Like, it already says Nightwing. We don't need it on there again. Whatever. It's already there, man. Anyway, that's partly what kept me from getting this one. So I just went with the A. And then this third option here is also pretty good. So, pick whichever one you like best. But I went with the cover A on my Nightwing. Superman Unlimited rolls on with the Prankster Triumphant. A lot of Superman titles out these days. This series, I think, is running 12 issues. So it is nearing the end. But here we are with issue 10. And this is the cover A. And then we get a weird choice for a B cover. This is a connecting cover by Gilliam March, which, if you see the full image, it's decent. But, dude, you can't cut a cover right in the middle of his face. Well, who planned that? Like, why? It's just awful. You can't split it right in his face like that. It's like not even like I can see if they did. A lot of times you do the split like straight down the center, like symmetrical. No, this is on a weird angle. I just don't like it. This bothers me at like a fundamental level. This bothers me for some reason. I'm not saying it's rational. My feelings. It just bothers me. So just pointing it out. Outside of that, we've got other options here for the Superman Unlimited 10. You got a third here as well as a fourth with crypto, kind of cool, and then a fifth, which also ain't bad. And like I said, you see the full Gilliam March where it's connects with the next issue of Superman. It's a solid image, but it's just where the split is. It bothers me. But then this is a pretty cool cover. I like how it just looks like it's a close up on Clark Kent, but then you look at it further, you see the clouds in the sky worked into the image of his face. It's kind of cool. But there's your other option, if you're picking up Superman Unlimited. Wonder Woman, part 2 of this baby Trinity thing, and then we're going to start the Wonder War, I think, next. So this is kind of setting us up for that. But Wonder Woman number 30 coming out this week. Multiple covers here. You've got the A. I'm not going to show you all of them because DC does have a couple of variants running through. But we do have the Nakayama here. We do have this Dustin Weaver, I believe, on this one. And then this fourth option, I think, by Christian Ward, if I'm not mistaken. And then, like I said, I believe there's at least one or two more, but we'll find those in a minute. We'll look at those in a minute. But before we get to those, let's also roll over to DCKO, which is their big event, currently still running, wrapping up as we're getting near the end of it. But the DCKO event is rolling on with one offering this week of a tie-in title. It is not a mainline title. It is just a tie-in, I believe. But Titans number 32, Titans 32 is coming out this week with their tie-in to the series. So 3 covers, I believe, on this one. You got an A, you've got the B, with Beast Boy as a weird. Is that a kangaroo? I don't know. Just it kind of weirded me out. And then we got a third option, which would probably be the one I would get if I were getting this title, but it's just I can't keep up with everything. So Titans isn't on my current pull, and I'm not getting all of the tie-ins for KO. I'm trying to stick to the mainline chapters of it. But with that out of the way, Vertigo also back in play over at DC. So let's look at what we have from Vertigo this week as they are continuing their rebirth rollout of sorts for the imprint. And we've got the third title that they decided to give our as an offering this week with the end of life, or end of life, not the end of life, but end of life coming out this week. I'm gonna go give this a shot. This Kyle Starks book. Uh, I mean, it's crime. You got hitmen. I'm in. It's the team behind Peacemaker Tries Hard, so should be a lot of fun. Should be some craziness, some oddball stuff happening here. I'm on board, and there's a lot of good covers for this book. I believe this is Gerard Perel, which solid in and of itself on the A. But then we've got these other offerings here with uh, Fight Club Brad Pitt esque Sebastian Fiumora. Then we got a foil edition of that cover A too. You've got this one. You've got I forget who did this cover. Is it Sandoval? But I do like the two-color negative space kind of thing going for it. That's also pretty awesome. Warren Johnson over here giving you this one, or also really cool. Why not? Why Dave Johnson? Anyway, I'm getting all tongue switching up. I'm thinking Daniel Warren Johnson and Dave Johnson, and getting them all mixed up as we're rolling through this. But yes, we have all of those covers off obviously offered, and then we have the connecting cover set for the new rollout of all of the Vertigo titles running too. So here's the third installment of this connecting cover set, and we've got one more coming our way, but here they go, connecting with the other books so far, and then you can see them all oh, I'm sorry, left the transitions in there, but these all connecting on over for the whole crew, as we go forward. And then we also have the Valentine's Day covers for the month of February. We do have these Valentine's Day card offerings from DC, and we are getting another one this week in the form of, I believe, this book from Wonder Woman. So Wonder Woman 30, which is why I said earlier, not all the covers of Wonder Woman, because we got this one with her and Steve Trevor by Chrissy Zullo, who always gives us good covers for these cards, these card versions of the for the holidays, if you will. Like she did the trick or treat cards and the Christmas cards, and now we're getting the Valentine's Day cards. Perfect, perfect artist for the job. They're pretty fun if you want to go and collect all of those. Also, for the month of February, DC now has our first installment for Black History Month. And also on Wonder Woman, we are getting this cover featuring Nubia, I believe. Where is it? Come on. Sorry, the deck is running behind me and my talk. But there we go with this Nubia cover by Torrin Clark, which is pretty cool. So they generally only have like half a dozen, maybe 8 in some of these smaller variant sets out of DC. They don't overdo it like Marvel with the 20s and the 24, 26 covers. Sometimes it's a bit too much. Something like this, something you can collect if you're into it, and you can get your Black History Month covers starting with this one. Speaking of Marvel, let's get on over to Marvel and see what they've got for us this week, as they actually have a lot. There's a lot. So the bulk of the books this week, Indies kind of took a break this week, but Marvel is coming strong with a lot of titles. So let's not waste any more time and just get right into it. Starting off first with the mainline type of stuff and Amazing Spider-Man. So yes, ASM, it's on my poll. So no matter what, I'm going to be continuing to get it. But they are ending this cosmic adventure for Peter Parker, bringing him back to Earth so they can start this Death Spiral storyline, which will be running through as a sort of an event through Spidey starting soon. I think starting next week, actually. But so end of that arc with the space adventures of Spider-Man. So with that, this is the cover A for number 22. Awesome Lee Bermejo here on the Amazing Visions cover, as you know. And then we're going to move on over to the 1 in 25, which is solid by Bianchi. And then we have the Bermejo back in virgin form on that 1 in 100 if you want to go that route and get that high ratio incentive. It's a really cool image. It's one of my favorites. So I'm going to get the trade dress and be done with it. From here, we also have Daredevil and Punisher with issue 4 of their little mini series. It is the penultimate issue. One more left to wrap up this mini with issue 5 next month. But for now, here's issue 4. We've got a cover A, an awesome Delato here on the B cover. And yeah, that's it for now. If I'm skipping covers, it's because we'll see them later, as you should know by now. But we're sticking with Daredevil, but he's going to be joining up, not with the Punisher, but Jeff, the Land Shark, for some reason. And this one shot is coming our way this week. So, yeah, Jeff the Land Shark and Daredevil, an odder couple. I couldn't think. Well, I probably could think of some more odder couples, but still, pretty damn odd team up here. cover A on this one shot. There is this cover with the Punisher also jumping in here. That reminds me of, I'm pretty sure this is a callback to an old the Punisher War Journal Jim Lee cover, if I'm not mistaken, with him on the jet ski. It's in my head. I should have looked it up just to confirm it, but it reminds me of that Jim Lee cover on the jet ski from, I think it was War Journal. Anyway, and finally, there is another homage here, but to the Jaws movie poster, but with Daredevil down below. Also pretty fun. So I can imagine this one doing well, as people like to collect some of these fun, oddball little movie posters. So keep an eye on it. Yeah, you never know. From here, though, we have the Dungeons of Doom issue 2. So, kind of following up the whole Doom event, we're still kind of wrapping it all up with the Dungeons of Doom. And I think there's only one more issue of this thing. It's only going to be like 3. But here's issue 2 coming out this week. So, I'm going to grab it and kind of continue it on until the end. But here we go. Cover A. Got a B cover here. A Noto. And then finally a 1 in 25 option. I'm probably just going to get the A myself, but those are your cover options on that Doom book. Coming out of nowhere, the Deadly Hands of Kunlun. I'm in. I mean, it's martial arts stuff. Iron Fist. I'm down. So I'm going to be getting this book. So issue 1, 7 Heavenly Cities Are Falling. Cool. I'm in. Cover A is fine. The B cover, I think by Kubert, is not bad. But I think I'm just going to get the A. Though the third one is a pretty solid, just Iron Fist cover with the dragon. That's also kind of cool. So I don't know. I might go this way. It's got sort of a cartoony, sort of extreme anime kind of vibe to it too. But yeah, I don't know. I'm going to go with my gut on Wednesday with this one, I think. But definitely going to be picking up this book, one form or another. I'm also going to continue picking up this book, at least for now, this Psi Dimensional Rivals. I know not everyone's a fan of Peach Pomoko's work in general, let alone some of these series that she has done with this more watercolor sort of Japanese style. But I'm on board for a little bit longer. So I'm going to check out issue 2 here with this Psylocke book, or Psy, and see where it goes. We've got this cover A, which is probably just going to be the one I grab, though the B is pretty solid. I kind of dig the B a little bit. And then there is a 1 in 25 by Esad Ribic for your, it's an option. I don't love this, but it's not bad. Not bad. Also, 60th anniversary special for Black Panther out this month. One shot. $7. So it's going to be a little oversized, a little extra in there. Pick it up if you're into it. A couple of covers here. So you got 1, you've got 2, and you've got 3. I think it's Steve Rude on this third one. And then there is a 1 in 50, which is one of those 250th throwback calendar jobs from back in the day. They said that B cover was an homage to this, but look, if you look at those two together, I don't see it. I just don't. I don't see it. Like the hand placement and everything is different. But I guess sort of. They use the Fantastic car like the boat, but I don't know. It's just, the body positioning is just, they don't match up. Anyway, also coming out of Marvel this week, we're not going to do a deep dive into all these books, but Doctor Strange number 3 coming out here. That cover A is pretty cool, with a sort of that angel of death standing behind him. I'm just going to admit that it is kind of fun to look at. I think we have the Dark Elves there from Thor: The Dark World. The second movie, remember that? So you got those 2 cover options there, as well as this incentive option if you want to go the incentive route with number 3. So there you go. There's your Doctor Strange. Fantastic Four is also rolling on with issue 8 and the Invincible Woman Part 3, as we're getting a little bit more of Malice, who got a lot of play when she was introduced into the Rivals game just was it last year, the year before. Now she's being brought back into the comics, and a lot of cool covers here. You got Ramos on 1. You got Ajusco over there after Kirby as 2 cover options. There's a foil edition as well as a 1 in 25 Rose Besh, which I kind of dig this one. It's got this kind of ball framing of the character. It's from an interesting angle. Kind of dig it. But then they'll take this and make that Rose Besh Virgin 1/100, which I think does it a little bit of a disservice because now there is too much empty space. but I do like the layout with the trade dress because then the trade dress fills that empty space. Here, then we just got a bunch of white, a little bit of splatter, but I don't know. Need a little bit more to fill out that dead space to me. I'm just kind of picky like that though. Anyway, rolling on from there, we also have Null issue 2. So if you're a big Null fan, you've got 3 cover options for open order as well as incentive options as well, as we have a 1 in 25 and a Virgin 1 in 100 of that cover A by Stegman. So grab them if you want them. New Avengers is wrapping up soon. The end is near. That's right. Issue 10 will be the final issue of this New Avengers run. Oh, what happened to my images? Yeah, I don't know why they disappeared on me. Anyway, the New Avengers are coming, and yeah, they're coming to an end. So one more issue on this sort of what were they? The Kill Illuminati against these Thunderbolts or New Avengers, if you will. It's coming to an end. One more issue. We also got the next issue of this 1776 series, which it's just I've heard good things from some, and then others not so good. It's just not something that interests me personally. So Straczynski, I'll just leave it there. Issue 4. It's not quite done yet, but we've got 2 cover options here, as well as a 3rd open order, which is still that like Barack Obama like homage there with Spidey, but I guess with you know, what's her name, Betsy Ross, you know, doing up the flag. And then there's a 1 in 25 over there if you want to go with the incentive. I decided, since we have more build up to this huge event coming to Marvel soon, let's start pulling those out and doing them in their own section too. So I've added the Armageddon section here. So Armageddon assembles in June, so we're still 4 months out, but we are getting titles that are leading us to this huge Marvel event. So yeah, let's enjoy the build together. So there we go. The 2 books coming out this week that are part of this build up are obviously Captain America has been building towards it in his own. So I'm still going to keep getting this Cap title by Chip Zdarsky. Doom Shadow Part 2. And even at the top, you see there, Armageddon assembles in 4 months. So yeah, we're counting down. It's like the next big Avenger event here, I guess. But Legacy issue 778. Red Hulk cover there. I'm probably just getting this cover A and being done with it. This is another option by Jurgens and Breeding, if you want to go that way. Todd Nauck has this iconic variant with the white background. We've seen plenty of these over the years. And then we have this design cover for the 1 in 10 by this character Castlemore. This looks like a Call of Duty skin on for Black Ops 7. I don't know. It's not terrible, but yeah, it looks like a skin that I could download for Call of Duty. That's what I see anyway. But Cap counting down to Armageddon, as is Wolverine with this special Weapons of Armageddon series that is starting up this week with Lionel Francis Yu giving us the art on cover A here. But Wolverine and some other characters will be also leading us into this event as well, apparently. So yeah, I'm going to probably take a look at this, I think. I'm usually not big on getting all of the Wolverine series. I mean, you got the Black and White and Blood and yada, yada, yada. So many Wolverine titles. But considering this is leading into a big event, I feel like I probably at least need to give it a try and test out the waters, at least for your guys' sake, so I know what the hell I'm talking about when I do this. But so I'm thinking about picking this one up. Don't know if I'm going to get that cover A. We got a Chip Zdarsky here, which has our nude Wolvie just hanging out there. Granted, he's covered with his Weapon X box and all those wires, but man, he's just airing himself out there for all of us. And then we got this one, 3rd option here. 4th option by Rose Besh, which I don't care for personally. This one I do not like. It's got like a Ghost in the Shell sort of vibe to it, but I don't know. I think I'm just going to go with the A. And then unless I decide to pay extra for foil. I don't like paying extra for foil, but this is a pretty solid Dan Panosian. It just happens to be a foil cover. So it's like, I got to pay extra for foil just to get this cool Dan Panosian cover with Wolverine holding Cap shield. So yeah, you know what? I'm probably going to pay the extra to get this one. But that's on me. Like as I said, I'm a little biased. I make all of my biases known right at the outset. So I'm explaining myself. You pick whichever one you like. Including the 1 in 25, which I actually think is pretty good. This In Hyuk Lee is a pretty solid cover. I mean, it's a basic Wolverine, kind of pose, but with the shield, it's just well done. I just like it. I just like it. Anyway, we also have the 1 in 50, which is the Rose Besh brought back, but without the trade dress. Grab that if you like it. Or if you want that airing it out, balls out Wolverine, here you go. We'll take that trade dress away by Chip Zdarsky. You can have that if you want that too, as the 1 in 100. So there you go. All right, Wolverine is leading into the Avengers event, but he is also part of the X-Men stuff. So now let's look at the X-Men corner of the Marvel Universe with Shadows of Tomorrow, the new line-wide sort of direction, I guess, for the X books, and see what we got here. Starting off first with the next installment of Wolverine, also featuring a Dan Panosian cover, right? We've got this one right here, issue 16, Alpha Flight, Panosian, pretty cool. Bloody hand Wolverine reaching out to his friends, his Canadian friends, fellow countrymen. Anyway, you've got this option here. I'm going to be getting this one. It's Panosian, but I will admit this. I think it's Damian Scott did this B cover. Something about it. I dig it. I just like it. I don't know. It's got sort of a graffiti vibe to it, but like I said, I'm biased. Panosian is where I'm going. Otherwise, this might be the one I get because I like the kind of energy behind this one. Also, you're going to see the token on all these books because, again, I get all the X stuff. But Generation X23 starting up here. So Laura Kinney giving us something new with why do I want to say Hedgehog? It's not Hedgehog. Her Gabby, her little sister, if you will. But anyway. Cover A here, plenty of cool covers on this one. I'm really big fan of this Elizabeth Torque callback to, was it Wolverine 28, the Jim Lee with just that orange background. It's also the cover to the NES game from back in the day. Yeah, I really like this one personally. And the In Hyuk Lee here is, or no, not In Hyuk Lee, Ji Hyung Lee is also very good. So you got this option as well. And then we've got this one too. All good covers here. I mean, you can't really go wrong. Pick which one you like best. And if you like the Scotty Young, you can get the Scotty Young because there's a Scotty Young option, which again, not bad. But push comes to shove. Like I said, I think I might get the Torque. But there's also incentives, including the 1 in 25. Solid. And then we're going to bring back the Ji Hyung Lee, take away the trade dress, and there is our 1 in 100 option there. All right. From here, Uncanny X-Men, issue 24, Monsters Dwell Part 2. You got Morbius showing up, vampires, Jubilee. Cool. We'll see how this plays out. I like the Jubilee bubblegum cover here on the second one, especially with the vampire reflected in her glasses. I'm assuming that's Morbius being reflected in her glasses as well. Could just be generic vampire, but I think it's Morbius. But it's a cool cover right there. I'm probably going to get that one. Though there is a 1 in 25, which is, yeah, okay. I don't know. It makes me think of Facts of Life for some reason. I don't know why. Like the sit for Facts of Life star, it's in my head. Like, I don't know. Just definitely 80s vibe there. But anyway, X-Men. Just X-Men, not Uncanny. Straight X-Men. Issue 25. Also coming out this week. Pretty cool cover A there. But then we got some other options as well. And again, I'm going to be getting this. You got Magic over here. The 1 in 25 is pretty good too. I really like this one. I know it just like a character is put together, but I like the layout of it with the gears and the background and Magic, the lighting. I just like this cover. I think it's well done for a 1 in 25. And if it were an open order cover, it would be the one I get. But since it's a 1 in 25, well, I think you did that. Darbo, I think, did that one. Anyway, it's pretty cool. Over on the Ultimate Universe, we are wrapping things up before we get a reborn Ultimate Universe. So with that, let's look at what we have here at the end. And we do have an end coming our way with the end of Ultimate Spider-Man. So issue 24, 2 years worth. This is the end of Hickman and Kaketo's run. Looking forward to it. Also sad to see it go because it was my favorite Ultimate title. But yeah, all good things must come to an end. And then we'll get something new out of this. We'll see. But end of the line here, issue 24, cover A. Couple other options as well. Here you go. With the B. Ruan here on a C, which is kind of cool. I like this sort of framing with the villains and Kingpin there. It's kind of cool. Family photo shot here with all the pictures by Elizabeth Torque. Then we've got these kind of layouts that have been done for all of the ending series with the big Ultimate U and the logos and the characters. So this is you know, par for the course for these series ending. And then we have 1 in 25 with the Parkers there decorating their tree. Feels like this title was a little delayed because it was. I think it was supposed to come out at Christmas time, but here we are getting it now and getting the 1 in 100, which is the cover A, but without the border um, options there. And yes, we are still going higher because it is the Ultimate Universe, and we've seen this before on some of these titles, and we are going higher than a 1 in 100. We are going 1 in 500 here with this Kaketto, I believe, cover, right? I like this quite a bit. It's 1 in 500, though, so I'm not paying anywhere near 1 in 500 prices. But if this were an open order cover, I'd probably grab this because I think it's pretty cool. It feels very much like Peter Parker. With the camera being, set up with the webbing, etc., standing there overlooking the city. I don't know. I like it, but I ain't paying these prices. Nor am I paying the prices for the 1 in 1,000. We got a Noto here with MJ and Peter together. So there you go. All right. Marvel's also giving us Star Wars, and hopefully those Star Wars Marvel Universe crossovers are just nonsense because, man, I do not want that personally. We can get into that some other time, but yeah, I don't want those crossing over. It just doesn't make any sense for them to do so. I can't see a benefit at all, apart from them just wanting to sell covers. That make no sense to me. And anyway, Star Wars on its own is also coming to an end. I didn't realize they were ending this Star Wars series so soon with issue 10, but they are. I'm sure they're going to be coming back with the title restarted sometime soon. But for now, issue 10 is the end of this run. So the final confrontation. So cool. Cover A. I think it's a Noto, right? And then we've got the action figure with Boba Fett on the powers of the Force back. And then we do have the Marvel Black History Month Star Wars edition, which is a connecting cover with that Jar Jar book from last week. So yeah, let's bring Jar Jar back. And there you go. You can get these two together, even though one of the books you have to buy is Jar Jar. Just saying. And then from here, we do have a 1 in 25 option as well. So you can get that if you want. Marvel also is giving us Cosmic Invasion, the video game tie-in covers. We are getting back on the horse with these, with 3, I believe, this week rolling out because they stretched these covers over 2 months. We're getting Cap 7, which was delayed, to be fair. Fantastic Four number 8, I think, was also delayed a little bit, but there you go with the Surfer cover. And then we got X-Men 25, which I'm not sure if this was delayed much. It might have been delayed a week, but yeah, there you go. 3 options, almost near the end. You can see we're playing catch up with the original listing. We still have 2 more to come with Black Panther Intergalactic 3 and Thor 7 next week to wrap up the Cosmic Invasion covers. Stretched over January and February, much like the Clayton Crane variant covers, which are also, I think, wrapping up now with this final edition. So what do we got? We got that Cap book that was delayed coming our way. So Captain America, number 7, Clayton Crane, and then we got a 1 in 50. Boom. Virgin, if you want to get the Virgin version. And that should be it for that variant set. Very similar to the color block variants from David Nakayama, though, in the sense that you're getting the trade dress and then a Virgin version. So here we go with these red themed for the month of February color block variants. So we've got Amazing Spider-Man number 22 with a Spider-Woman. There you go. Rocking the red, just like me, for the month of February. So we can get a Virgin version of this in the 1 in 50 if you want it. Cool. I like these. I mean, Nakayama was doing so many of these covers as store exclusives just a couple of years ago, and I kept buying so many of them because I like these, and I like the art, and I like his art. But there's just so many these days I can't keep up. But in addition to ASM, we also have the Daredevil Punisher book. So here we go with another red, and it's Daredevil. Also a 1 in 50 option if you want to go that way. Fantastic Four number 8, Johnny Storm, also giving us a touch of red. That's, also when he's on fire. Boom, 1 in 50. And then, yes, we can bring back the Dark Phoenix here for X-Men 25 and get this one as well. So there you go. Open orders and 1 in 50s, getting us near the end as we have next week with 2 more coming our way with Iron Man 2 and Sorcerer Supreme number 3. So with that, let's move on to the Stormbreaker variants, also running through the month of February. And the month of February for Stormbreakers is featuring crossovers with Black Panther. So with that, let's take a look here. Excuse me for a second. Here we go. Amazing Spider-Man, Simone DeMeo giving us Spidey and Black Panther in their spacey outfits, intergalactic style. We've also got Doctor Strange. And we've got on the Fantastic Four book, we've got the classic, classic team up of the FF and Black Panther. And then we've got Psy giving us another crossover here. So this one has more of an anime manga kind of vibe to it, but there you go. But, oh, sorry, this is the Hell's Kitchen list. Don't pay no attention to this list because that goes with this section, the Hell's Kitchen list. So let's get right into that. These are those Punisher-esque variants that Marvel's been running this month as well. A lot of variant sets, right? Spider-Man. Cool. I mean, I like the, they just hang it upside down. He's got the Punisher bulletproof vest on, but with the spider logo. I mean, that's kind of what they're doing. With the vests, with the logos. That's kind of the whole thing. Null instead doing the t-shirt. But, dude, I don't know. It's kind of underwhelmed by this one. It just looks like it's Null in a t-shirt. Don't know if I need that. And then we got Rogue. Also just in a ripped up t-shirt, but hers is green too. So this is really stretching it to me to be the Hell's Kitchen variant because she often wears green. But whatever. And then we can look at this list because here we go with that. Check that off. Next week, 3 more to wrap up that cover set. And also starting a new cover set. I don't know how many of these there will be. I tried to look for a full list, couldn't find it yet, but we have a few McFarlane toy variants here on Marvel. That's right. McFarlane, Marvel, back together. Guess he got, lost the DC license, I guess, and now is doing some stuff for Marvel. So here we go with some cover variants featuring his toys. Lizard on Amazing Spider-Man number 22. We got Gambit over here. Classic pose from X-Men 1, right? On Uncanny 24. And then we got a Juggernaut over here. Also cool. And I believe he also snuck his daughter's name in there as a kind of a wink and a nod. But yeah, Juggernaut. Moving on, let's get on over to Image Comics and see what the Image boys and girls have for us. Because like I said, there's not a ton. There's not a ton on the independent side of things. But Image has a few things. A few things that I'm going to be picking up too. Because, yeah, it's just one of those weeks. Exquisite Corpses number 10. We are nearing the end of this first arc. And, yeah, issue 10 coming our way with the cover A, which, also has a special thank you edition foil, 1 per store, that will obviously see a premium right out of the gate. There's a B cover option too. Then there's also the trading card polybag version of that cover A. So you got that one. I've been getting the trading card polybag versions for every one of these as well. And then we've got this option here too, open order as well, before we get to the 1 in 25 and the 1 in 50, which is pretty creepy. Pretty creepy. Anyway, cool. Ghost Pepper is also out this week with issue 8. And yes, I'm going to be getting Ghost Pepper as well. Can't remember which cover I ordered, but this is the Ludo Lullaby number 1. Cover A, I'm sorry, not number 1. For number 8. There is also a Daniel Warren Johnson option here. We've got the 1 in 10 action figure covers that they've been doing. And then there is a pretty cool 1 in 25, as well as a 1 in 50. Solid covers throughout this entire run. I've loved many of the covers. So get whatever you like or can afford. Because when you start getting to these incentives, some of these have gotten pricey. G.I. Joe also coming our way with issue 19. Hound from the Transformers crossing over. We're also getting some of those mask guys showing up. Definitely on board for this. Joshua Williamson, killing it. Love the Energon universe. Issue 19, definitely on my pull list. I really do like cover A, but this, I think it's a Cassera cover. I like this B cover, so I'm going to be getting that. Even though the Ben Oliver is solid, it's just she looks kind of like a K-pop demon hunter. This is that Chameleon, I believe. Then there is also a foil die cut cover that's like a Halloween mask for Hound. If you want to get that, it does wrap around. So here you go. I'll show you the full cover with the wraparound, but it is a die cut foil. The 1 in 25 is really nice. I dig this kind of layered kind of like look with the image within images. I think it's really cool. Really like that. 1 in 25. And then there's also a solid 1 in 50, as well as a 1 in 100, which features, Thunderhawk, the car from Mask, which, yeah, Mask is coming back. If you didn't know, like your stores and shops might have the new retro reissues of the old toys coming out very soon. My buddy's got a shop. He got a couple of his pre-orders in, but not everything. But yeah, so keep an eye out for those. They're not cheap, though. Just saying. They're not cheap. Moving on from there, Image is also giving us Death Fight Forever, a new martial art book of sorts. I'm going to give this a try, I think. I'm thinking about it, at least. It wasn't a part of my initial pull, but yeah, could be weird. Could be fun. Simultaneous two-player head-to-head action. It's got that kind of Double Dragon kind of vibe to it. This is the cover A. I think I like the cover B, though, which is really cool looking. So if I do pick this up, I'm probably grabbing this cover. Yeah, and then there's also a 1 in 25. So if you want to go that route, you can. But yeah, that B looks pretty cool. Wrapping up this series, Death to Pachuco is coming out. So the end with issue 5. East LA, the war, murders on. You got the Lagoon Murderer. You got Zoot Suit stuff. It's wrapping up. Issue 5. 3 covers here. 1, 2, 3. I like the Gonzo in the middle, personally, if I was getting it. You got a sort of a Roger Rabbit kind of vibe there on the 3rd. But I don't know. I like the Gonzo, personally. Speaking of wrapping it up, Good as Dead is finishing up its run with issue 6. So this series by the Laphams is running its course. We'll see if it comes back or if there's any sort of continuation. But $8 on this one, as it is calling it a day, the 48-pager. We are also getting the next installment of The Darkness. So if you're in on these reboots for all the Top Cow stuff, with Witchblade, Darkness is also rolling back out with issue 3. Kind of retelling and reissuing events. 2 cover options there. Then we've got some incentives. Make those virgins. Boom. 1 in 10, 1 in 25. And then even further, let's take the 1 in 25, make it black and white, and there's our 1 in 50. What else do we have here? I Hate Fairyland. So Scotty Young giving us the next installment, issue 48. Can't believe this has gone 48 issues. I did have the first run, but then I kind of dropped out after a while. I just couldn't keep up with everything. But stupid fresh mess. Scotty Young's little corner of things. You got these 2 cover options, as well as the not suitable for work Garbage Pail Kids version of that cover, which is kind of cool, especially if you like Garbage Pail Kids. But also Rat City issue 22. 2 covers on the Spawn Universe title here. A and a B. Pick which one you like. And then the colorization of Walking Dead continues with issue 131. 1, 2, 3 covers. Pick your favorite and roll on from there. As we will roll on to Oni next. So Oni Press, what do we have here as we try to roll through this show and bring us to the end? Because like I said, there's not a ton of independent publishers to get into, but we've got a few things. Catacomb of Torment being one of them. Yeah, it's a creepy cover here. I love these EC horror titles, so I've definitely been picking all of these up. And I'll be getting this number 8 as well. A cover, B cover. I think I ordered the A, but here we go. You got a little bit of a murderous Carrie kind of a callback of a bit. A 1 in 10 option here too. 1 in 20. And the obligatory table of contents, 1 in 50. And then also out of Oni, the next installment of Adventure Time with issue 10. Again, Adventure Time is not really my thing, but I know cult following, a lot of people into this, and there are incentives, which are right here, 1 in 10, 20, and 50 on those books as well. And then we'll go on over to Dark Horse, which has given us a handful of titles this week. A lot of the Hellboy stuff, or the Hellboy corner of Dark Horse, if you will. But first, this American Caper book is coming with issue 4. I think this is also nearing its end, or of the first arc at least, or something like that. I thought issue 5, maybe a pause. But anyway, these 2 covers coming out now. We are getting the end of this 4-issue mini, The Graveyard of Time, Captain Henry in the Graveyard of Time from the world of Hellboy. I really dig that B cover. It's just a cool look with that creature behind him with the bubble helmet and all. Cool look. Anyway, 4th and final issue there. We also have this coming from the Hellboy corner of the universe, Carmen Redclaw. So you can get this, issue 204, A or the B. Magic, if you're a Magic the Gathering player, issue 3 of the new comic series is rolling out with these untold stories of Elsbeth. I like the 3rd cover out of these 3. Plus Dan Waters, Nightwing. He's been writing some good stuff. But I'm not a Magic the Gathering guy, so I wouldn't know what's going on. I would be kind of lost, but I'm sure they kind of bring you up to speed. Powers also coming out of Dark Horse, 25th anniversary. So we've got the crossover cover with by Stan Sakai and Usagi Yojimbo over here. That's kind of fun. And they're going to apparently have more of those kind of crossover covers here in the weeks and months ahead. But first, we will shift on over to Boom and see what Boom has for us. And like I said, not a ton, but we've got some stuff. We've got Minor Arcana, I believe. Oops, sorry for the quick transition, but this is all we're getting out of Boom. Issue 14 of Minor Arcana. 2 cover options here. Then we also have the Virgin version of that one, and then the 1 in 10. And then we also have the 1 in 15 here as well. And then we'll shift on over to IDW and see what IDW has for us, as they got a handful of issues for us. Not a ton of stuff either, but a couple Star Treks, I believe, a couple Turtles. And we will start off first with the Star Trek stuff here. What do we got? The Last Starship. You got an all red cover there, a Francavilla. And we also have a 1 in 10. Oh, I'm sorry, 1 in 15, which is a Virgin version of that Francavilla. Godzilla wise, we are getting Starship Godzilla with a couple of covers. And then it has a really cool, this is issue 5, mind you, of this series. It's the Kaisai version of Godzilla, but it has a really cool 1 in 15 incentive variant, which, again, they've been doing these movie posters throughout this series on these starships. You had the Evangelon, etc. Here we have a Barbarella, which I think is kind of fun. And if you don't see it, I'll show it to you. But there you go. Barbarella movie poster there on that 1 in 15. I think it's cool. So I made sure to order one for myself because it wasn't that expensive. I found it for under ratio. So I figured it was good enough for me to grab it for that. Street Sharks, for those collecting Street Sharks, 3 options here, as well as some incentives too. So boom, boom. Then what else we have? We have the end of the Turtle Battle Nexus. Their sort of a KO multiversal event, I think. I didn't read this title, so I'm just guessing off of the synopsis I've seen here. But you got Michelangelo versus Slash, I guess, in this grudge match as this series comes to an end with issue 5. And then Shredder rolls on with issue 4 of his mini. Sorry, losing my voice a little bit here. But issue 5 of Shredder continuing on. Dan Waters once again. Writing this. We've got 1, 2, 3 open order covers, and then we've got some incentives based off of those. So there we go. 1 in 10 and a 1 in 25. And then IDW also offers us their dark corner of the comic universe with some dark books. And this week they have a tie-in to the Smile movie franchise with Smile for the Camera comic book. So yeah, if you're into it, there you go. Smile. Issue 1. Pretty creepy. Pretty cool. But yeah. From the based on the critically acclaimed Smile film franchise from Parker Finn, brought to you by horror star Hannah Rose May, Exorcism in 1600, Rogues Gallery, etc. But anyway, a couple other covers here for you that are also pretty creepy. I like them. There's that B. Then we have just the Smile kind of cut through here on this one. Then we have a like a Vogue magazine kind of thing here, also pretty messed up. I like where the tears go. And then we do have a 1 in 25. by Martin Simmons, I believe. A 1 in 50, which is the Simmons, but without the trade dress. And even higher than that, a 1 in 100, which will bring that B cover back, but make it shiny foil and a virgin version. So there you go. And then we'll roll right into the rest of the indies. As like I said, we're getting kind of deep into it, almost nearly an hour. And yeah, it should have been a lighter week, but I guess I got sidetracked a little bit distracted. But there's plenty of stuff we're not going to have to cover. So nothing this week from all these guys here. So if you take a look, all of these title publishers are not giving us anything. And I'm going to hydrate while this happens. All right. So there, ton of publishers, 16 of them sitting this week out, but a few of them are giving us offerings like Ahoy with Toxic Crusaders, number 4. Alien Books is giving us the Valiant stuff, and they're giving us issue 2 of Exo Man of War. So issue 2 of 4, 2 covers, and then 2 virgin versions of those covers are their offerings for this week. Antarctic Press, no Cheesecake this week from them, but they are giving us Dog Supreme, issue 3 of 3. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't put the end, but this is the end of this series. Issue 3 of 3 of Dog Supreme, if you're reading it. Archie's not giving us any comics, but they are giving us this spring break special if you like collecting those digest-sized books. So it's like $10, little digest books. Yeah, this one's coming out this week. Dynamite has a few things for us, starting off with Stitch number 6. And it's Dynamite, so multiple covers. I'm just showing you the different cover art and then multiple variations from there. So there's 4 different covers before they get into all the other variants. And then we also have Terminator. So the Terminator book by Declan Shavley, Terminator Metal, issue 5. Boom, boom. Yes, there is a Terminator in that white cover. It's not just a plain blank cover. You can see it. It's just, Judgment Day kind of thing. Anyway, here's a couple other cool ones too. So, yeah. Thundercats also rolling out this week. Awesome. Perillo, Lino right there, issue 24. And then you got the sort of omens over on the B cover. And we also got a Jay Lee. And we got these ones over here too with the action figure. So 6 different cover options before you get to different cover art out of our Thundercats over at Dynamite. And then we've got these books, Arcadia out of Ignition Press and Deluge. So this Arcadia issue 3. I'm hearing a lot of good things about this publisher. I've read a couple of books over there and I've enjoyed them. It's just I can't get everything, but I'm thinking I might have to take a look at some of this stuff because I'm kind of curious. This Cullen Bunn series, Deluge, looks interesting. I think I read the first issue, but issue 4, it's coming near its end. I might have to play a little bit of catch up there over at Ignition. Mad Cave, meanwhile, is giving us this wild book. That's right. Florida Hippopotamus Cocaine Massacre. Yep, I said all those words together because that's the name of this book. This has got to be a wild book. I might have to just take a look at it. But 2 covers, and I like them both, actually. They're both pretty solid in a kind of crazy sort of way. It's kind of like that Bigfoot book, remember the Moonshine thing? I don't know. I'm kind of into it. But there you go. If you want to read a little bit about this amusement park in Flamingo City and these cocaine massacre hippos, I don't know, man. I just think this is going to be a wild book. Also, out of Mad Cave, Gunpowder Profits, I think, is wrapping up their series there with issue 5, and then issue 3 of Our Soot-Stained Heart, also coming out of Mad Cave. Over at Massive, they're giving us the G.I. Joe book that we've all wanted, The Disavowed, done by original creators. I like the Tim Seeley cover, and that's the one I'm going to probably be getting. And then there's also the Transformers, done by the original Transformers writer Simon Furman, but it's Astrobots. So sort of a different take on the properties, but they're not the exact same thing. It's sort of a revamp, redo, whatever. But I'll be getting both of these because I still think they're kind of cool. So Astrobots issue 4, volume 2, issue 4, also coming out this week. And then Panic Entertainment is giving us this Tama book, the one with the Pokemon, like the evil Pokemon. So there you go. You've got 1, 2. You like the card cover, issue 6 of 6. Oh, this looks like it's the end as well. Sorry, I didn't put the end on there, but sometimes I miss when it's the end. But there is one in 10 here by our buddy Tony Fleece. So there you go. Pretty cool with the it's a Nintendo Switch cover this time. So go through the different ages of the game. Anyway, Titan. What do we got here at Titan? We got Doctor Who. So if you're a Doctor Who fan, you got 3 covers to choose from on your latest issue of Doctor Who, The Prison Paradox. Or you can get Lenore. 1, 2, 3, and a foil version of that other one. So there are your cover options on Lenore at a Titan. Thinking of Titan, they are also offering magazines. So let's take a look at the magazine section real quick, because there are a few magazines coming out this week. If you're interested in that, we're going to start off first with the Titan magazine. Oh, I'm not sorry, Titan. Wait, that should have been Titan. Should have been, because it's Conan. The Savage Sword of Conan Reforged. Pretty sure that should have been Titan. My bad on that. But 1, 2 covers. There's also a foil and a virgin. Then we've got Drawn and Quarterly giving us Fielder, issue 4. I think it's I don't read this, but yeah, it's coming out. I'm also not reading The Jungle, but issue 3 of this magazine size book. I think we looked at this last week, but the next issue's coming out already. $10. And then we're gonna go shift on over to tomorrow's, and a lot of comic magazines coming out this week. We're getting the next issue of Back Issue, issue 165. Alter Ego also coming out with a new issue. And then we've got 2 more books coming our way with Comic Book Creator, Spotlight on Pat Broderick, and then your Jack Kirby Collector issue number 96. So yeah, mags, you magazine readers and collectors. That's what we got. And then we'll go over to Facsimiles. We have a couple Facsimiles this week to cover. And those redos that we are going to be seeing are Batman Mad Love for the holiday, I'm assuming. Those should come out last week ahead of Valentine's Day. But Mad Love, there is a foil version as well as a sketch version. Then we're also getting a Detective Comics Batman Year 2 Part 1. I guess they're going to start redoing all of these. And we will see those covers. You know which one's also in this mix. This is the Alan Davis. But that McFarlane will be part of the run if they're doing this whole run. And there's a foil edition and a sketch. And then finally, issue 7 of Civil War, wrapping up that facsimile set, including the foil version on the Michael Turner's, and then a new cover on the 1 in 25. Heading on over to later prints, we do have a couple of later printings to go over, and we will start off with a 4th printing of the Marvel DC crossover event of the year, Batman and Deadpool, or Deadpool Batman, I'm sorry. So yeah, Lionel Francis Yu on this 4th printing here. And then there is a 1 in 25, which is this familiar cover, Virgin version after McFarlane. Yeah, cool. The Will of Doom also getting a 2nd printing. So as we were getting the 2nd issue of the Dungeon book, we're also getting the Will of Doom leading into Armageddon as well. So 2nd print. And then we got the Stephen Platt Virgin cover for the 1 in 25. Sorry, I didn't put 1 in 25, but that is the 1 in 25 cover for this 2nd printing of the Will of Doom number 1. And then finally, we have Cheesecake Covers, and we do not have a lot. No Zenoscope for you this week. Not even a lot out of Dynamite, but we do have a Dynamite book, as I believe we're getting the next installment of a Vampirilla Armageddon with issue 8. Matina cover here. Pretty cool. Here's your B cover by Lyrics. Linsner. And then, obviously, you get your cosplay. So, yes, there's your cosplay cover. And that's it for the cheesecakes. Sorry, not a lot more for you to go through this week, but that's all I got. But we do have the best of the week. So let's wrap up the show and get into this. Now, these are just my personal picks for the best of the week. You can let me know what your favorites of the week are, but these are my personal favorite covers. Starting off first with the incentives. And my incentive favorite of the week is, well, again, biased. It's that Mega Man, that 1 in 5, the SNES cover box look. It's just cool. I like this, and it's my favorite, as is. Again, you're probably tired of hearing me talk about Libra Mayho, but man, Libra Mayho has been killing it the past year or so. So I'm still well on board that train. This is probably my favorite cover of the week. This Spider-Man being taken over by the symbiote. You got the bell in the background, just well done. The textures, the style, excellent work. Once again. So, with that, those are my favorite covers of the week, and that is the end of the show. Sorry, it went 5 minutes over an hour. I'm trying to get this under an hour, but I guess I keep getting sidetracked. But I still want to thank you for hanging in there. And also, thank you for all the support for me and the channel. I've got plenty more things coming your way in the weeks and months ahead. But this next week might be a little bit slow because I got to go fill in on TAC this Wednesday. But as I mentioned early on in the show, make sure you come back Friday for that Garrett Gunn interview, hanging out with the boys over on the Qualified on Friday. And yeah, I'll probably sneak in whether it be a variant hunter or a sneaky keys at some point during this week as well, if I can get it done. Maybe even a dollar bin digging over the weekend, because I know I took last weekend off because, well, just didn't have enough time to squeeze the show in. But plenty more content coming your way, and that's all, folks. So with that, thank you again, and I'll see you all later with some more content. All right, bye.